Hi, my name is Uriel, and this is Mahasiddha Yoga School. Thank you for your interest in our school.
Hello, I'm Blandine, and hopefully today we can answer some of your frequently asked questions.
Tantra is an ancient, complex spiritual path that involves living life in a spiritual way. So it involves bringing the essence of spirituality or bringing the spiritual practice into the daily life and the daily life into spirituality. The Tantric practices as such, they encompass every little aspect of life. There is Tantra of how to eat and Tantra of how to experience pleasure, which made Tantra very famous, and Tantra of how to experience pain, and Tantra of the emotions. This is the Tantra of what to do with anger. Yeah, so it's not anger management from 20 years ago, but anger management from the 7th century. Very beautiful knowledge about that. So Tantra touches all aspects of life in an aim to uplift them, to make them truly spiritual without ignoring them.
So basically, Tantra and Yoga do not have, let's say, some distinct wall between them or anything like that. Actually, Tantra is a form of yoga. It's a specific way of achieving a state of yoga, if you will. And a state of yoga basically means to achieve union with all the different parts of one's own being, but also to achieve union with the people and the world around and come back to that natural state of just being one with everything. And the particular way that Tantra does that is by expanding our consciousness within whatever we are currently doing. May that be walking the street, or may that be practicing some yoga positions from the Hatha Yoga system, or may that be enjoying a beautiful time with our lover. So all of these could be wonderful moments of experiencing and practicing Tantra Yoga, the expansion of consciousness in order to achieve union with everything in that very moment. Within the Mahasiddha Yoga School, we actually offer 2 different courses. One of them is called the Tantra course, and the other one is called the Yoga course. The Yoga course dives into all sorts of different traditions that allow you to acquire many different methods and knowledge in order to achieve that state of yoga, that state of union that I was talking about. May that be achieving yoga through Hatha Yoga positions, to physical bodily poses, or through breathing, or through understanding the flow of time, or studying the great goddesses of the Hindu system. In the Tantra Yoga course, all the things that we study will aim to achieve, again, a state of yoga, of union, through increasing awareness, increasing consciousness. And then, of course, also studying, let's say, the traditionally tantric scripts and texts that are around throughout the ages of history. And one of them, for example, being the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, that will be a script that we take and then look into how is this text trying to tell us to become more conscious, and through that increased consciousness achieve a state of union.
So the idea in Mahasiddha Yoga is that spirituality is not to be workshopped. It's something that's much more complex and needs to be schooled. It's not something that you just have an incipient, like a cooking class, and then you can cook pad thai or whatever, you can cook pasta for the rest of your life. And traditionally, spirituality has always been an ongoing study, where you study and then you practice a bit at home, you come back with, or you practice a lot at home, even better, you come back with what you practice, you get new techniques, you get tweaked for your practice, you ask or you share your practice with your teacher, you understand what's happening in your inner world, in your meditation, and then you get more techniques, and so forth. Also traditionally, it was not that Buddha went to 2 workshops in a festival, embraced some people, looked them in the eyes, and became Buddha, nor Shankaracharya, nor other great saints. It was an ongoing, long process. Now, what we aim to do with the ongoing courses, with the Tantra course and the Yoga course, is to give a frame for people that live in the world, that they don't want to live in the forest now for the rest of their lives or in a cave around the Himalaya, but still they want to take spirituality seriously. They want to have real spiritual growth. And for that, we give an ongoing weekly course. So every week, you learn a new technique, you get a lecture, you get a written material, and we practice together. And the practice starts with the simple techniques of Hatha Yoga, and it goes deeper into pranayama, into more and more complicated, or sometimes more simple, but more and more elevated techniques of meditation, of visualizations, and simultaneously with that, we learn the metaphysics, how the world is structured according to the Tantra system and to the Yoga system. And in this way, the second facility that this course gives is that it filters people so that we can give pretty high initiation later. Yeah, spiritual masters, when they would have a small group of students, they could just choose. They would test the student, and then if the student passed the test, gets the mantra, gets the technique. But today, it's not so possible to do it in such a way. So we simply have an ongoing course. And if you didn't do year 1, you cannot do year 2. So we know in year 2, we can put so and so and so and so techniques, which will filter. We have 50 people in year 1 and we have 20 in year 2. So those 20, they have made the effort. We can give them a more advanced technique. And then in year 7, very good technique. 4 people left. Good. These people, yes, they came, they have perseverance, very good. We give them a very good technique. Yes. So this is the advantage of this ongoing class, and it really gives, it's a new format. It was done by Yogananda. They had this 3-year course, they still have it, but it's a new, beautiful way, a beautiful format in which you can actually have spirituality as the main ingredient of your life and still have a job, a family, a hobby, travel, waste time on the internet. You can do whatever you like and still have spirituality essentially as your main course, or at least as a powerful add-on for your life.
Apart from our ongoing Yoga and Tantra courses, we also offer the opportunity to dive a bit more intensely into the realm of Yoga and Tantra once per month. And that might look like a beautiful retreat where we go a little bit outside of Chiang Mai and enjoy, let's say, 5 or 7 days together of practicing every day, twice, sometimes 3 times yoga and meditation, and then sharing a lot of knowledge of the Yoga and Tantra system in accordance with the subject of that intensive study or that intensive retreat. Some of our retreats or of our more intensive studies, we do them here in Chiang Mai, so you have the opportunity to stay in your own hotel and maybe enjoy the city in the meantime as well. Nevertheless, the program is as intense with 2 times of yoga and meditation per day, and then a lot of lectures and workshop exercises that allow you to understand Tantra a bit more deeply. The range of subjects is quite wide. It might start, or you might want to start with something a bit more general, exploring the principles of Tantra in one of our Tantra immersions, for example. Or you might be interested in a very specific subject of Tantra. May that be how to enjoy a wonderful and thriving couple relationship by applying the methods and knowledge of Tantra, or may that be going for a deep study of meditation because you want to deepen your inner peace and understanding of the inner universe that you so beautifully have. Or it might be you feel to indulge yourself into a 3 days intensive of finding out about your life's purpose and what your soul wishes to express within this life. And for all of these different, sometimes quite specific subjects, Tantra offers very wonderful answers, knowledge, methods, practices that we will then share with you and intensely study and practice within those 3 or 5 or 7 days that you might choose to stay with us. Once per month, this is a possibility that you have.
Yeah, and I can add here that these short workshops, if we take 5 days of Tantra or 6 days of couple relationship, we aim to combine, you get a piece of the theory about Tantra, the law of vibration, or Tantra, the law of polarity. So we take the theory and we bring it into a very accessible way, and then we have particular interactive exercises so that you can feel the law of vibration when you speak to someone. You can feel the law of polarity, or you can feel active love inside interactive exercises. So you get the principle, and then we create a kind of setting, a kind of workshop setting in which you have a direct experience of how these principles work. Or we take a particular yoga practice. We learn sexual continence, the control of the sexual energy in Tantra. And then we'll give you a set of yoga exercises that you can practice daily, or particularly after you make love. And that energy will be harnessed, will be sublimed inside of you. So all these intensive 5-day, 7-day retreats and workshops, they combine that. Knowledge, experience. Knowledge, experience, and in this way it becomes a part of you. It's not just a sterile knowledge without the actual basis, and it's also not just experiences which are beautiful but without the background of understanding.
One of the most fascinating points that I feel Tantra offers for couples is to understand that beyond the beauty of having a couple relationship as a means to an end, just enjoying it the way it is and having it bring maybe comfort and beauty and support to your life, actually the couple relationship in time can become a spiritual practice in itself. It can become a tool that uplifts both lovers, and somehow when that happens, it is not anymore, let's say, the challenge to groom the beautiful couple that you have, and you sort of try to keep it